Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I will explain about my research. It's about evaluation of interview application based on Radon system. This research is by Ahmad Syafiq Kamil and Ima Kurniastuti from University of Nahdlatul Ulama Surabaya. In this research, there will be four. The first is introduction, research methods, research and analysis, and conclusion. And for introduction, technology has applied in government service, especially Regional Government Work Unit or Satuan Kerja Perangkat Daerah or SKPD. For developing it, master plan is needed. In order to making master plan, interview process must be done. The interview process is an important process in collecting data on the development of a master plan where data collection is done manually. Interview is a form of communication between two or more people and takes place between the research person and the interviewer. Before, the interview process is done manually, but in pandemic COVID-19 situation, interview process must be done in online using interview application. In this paper, interview application is developed using Python language and Django framework as a web development framework. The interview application was testing using a library namely Radon. Radon is a library that can calculate various metrics from an application shortcut. Applications that are tested using cyclomatic complexity, line of code, logical line of code, and short line of code. And for the research method, there is three steps. The first step is early phase, development phase, and evaluation phase. For early phase, there is two steps. The first is literature review, analysis of software requirement, and the second step is development phase, consists of three steps: design of application, design of prototype, and developing application. And for the evaluating phase, it's using Radon. The indicator is cyclomatic complexity, maintainability index, line of code, logical line of code, and short line of code. And for early phase, this is the result of analysis of software requirement. There is a list of language and library is used in the research. The first is Python, a program language, and Django framework to web application based on Python. And there is HTML, a program language, a Survey.js, a library used to create the interview form, and there is SQL, a language, a programming language for database. And this is the development stage. There is three steps: designing UML, making prototype, and developing application. The result of development stage is final interview application. The application must be ready in use to user. And this is the requirement of analysis. And for the making user business process, and from user business process there will be some problem. The first is the result of making device that are still kept by each project manager. The second is surveyor carry repeat survey with the aim of validating the result of the survey to client. The third is survey result data that are sometimes lost. So we make there is design of application. The first is use case diagram, sequence diagram, and entity relationship diagram or ERD. And this is the use case diagram. There is three role such as project manager, surveyor, and analyst. And from the use case is developed into sequence diagram. There is 4 sequence diagram. The first sequence diagram is for create project feature. The actor is project manager. And there is a sequence diagram for create interview set. The actor is project manager also, project manager too. And for sequence diagram for survey research feature is the rules is the actor is many analyst. And for sequence diagram for survey feature, the actor is surveyor. And this is the entity relationship diagram. And this is the design of prototype. And from design of prototype, it can be built in Django framework. So this is the display. And the last stage is evaluation phase. From the evaluation phase, using line of code, logical line of code, short line of code, maintainability index, and then risk and CC. From the average MI, it can be the result is the average is 81,116. So it can be conclusion is a small level of complexity and was easy to maintain, and the risk is A. It means that the risk is very good. So the conclusion is the interview application had a small level of complexity and was easy to maintain. And for the conclusion is the study aimed to develop a website-based interview application using a Radon evaluation system. This research consists of several steps, namely early phase, development phase, and evaluation phase. And based on the result of the Radon evaluation, it was found that the interview application had a small level of complexity and was easy to maintain. Thank you very much.